Okay, good evening. My name is Mohd Irfaan Afifi bin Fadzli. Today, I would like to present about my dissertation entitled Quality Criteria System for Facilities Management at Maktab PDRM Cheras. Thank you for joining me, and we're going to start now. First of all, I would like to send my acknowledgement to my supervisor, Dr. Anis Rosniza Niza Akbar, and my fellow lecturers in this subject, Master of Science in Facilities Management, BSB 710 Dissertation, which is the first one, Dr. Izzatul Ali Jabbar, Dr. Nur Fashia Hashim, and Dr. Juliana Ibrahim. Without their guidance, it will be quite impossible to complete this dissertation, especially to my supervisor, Dr. Anis Rosniza. So we're going to start now. So in this dissertation, for introduction, I would like to explain briefly what is quality criteria system for this dissertation. My study is to identify what kind of quality criteria system that used to assess the building condition, performances, and all else. So the method for quality criteria system is a highly complex and cumbersome process. There are a few factors which have to be adhered to meet the quality expectations of the people and to satisfy their demands. As we know, every building occupants, the occupants are very picky nowadays. They would like to work in an environment where they felt comfortable, they felt happy going to work. And in this study, we would like to know, are they satisfied with the building that they occupy, and to determine what kind of initiative by the contractor to ensure that quality of their services are top-notch, and so that it can tackle occupants inside the building. So in facilities management, a quality criteria system is a system for assessing the conformity of a building by confirming the acceptability of a feature or characteristic for the quality of certain output. Many buildings in Malaysia adopt facilities management work solution on a short or medium-term basis rather than long-term basis. Facility managers can perform quality criteria system in a variety of ways, depending on what best fits the building that they were assigned to. This is true. A lot of facilities management work solution nowadays mostly short or medium-term basis. It doesn't prevent the problem to occur again. It just temporarily rectifying the solution. For long term, it has to be discussed. We will be discussed about it later on. Okay, for background of the study, facilities management can be defined as creating a cohesive environment in which to carry out an organization primary operation, taking an integrated view of infrastructure services and utilizing it to provide customer satisfaction and value for money through support for an enhancement of the core business. So every building and facility must be properly and efficiently managed and maintained so that the end user may have a very comfortable atmosphere in the building and the building can perform without much difficulty, which I have explained on the previous slide. So the reason I choose Maktab PDRM Cheras because currently due to COVID-19 pandemic, our frontliners, which consists of doctors, nurses, and not to forget our Royal Malaysian Police Force, which manning our roadblock every day. So in order to contribute something for them, I would love to study and investigate about one of their main building, which is Maktab PDRM Cheras. The function of Maktab actually is a police training college in Kuala Lumpur. It is in charge of training commanding officers for both the Royal Malaysian Police and the Malaysian Armed Force. Not only officers from Malaysia, they also train officers from Singapore, Brunei, Thailand, Russia, United Kingdom, and United States. They are also trained there. When I decide to proceed with Maktab PDRM Cheras, I felt this is something that I can do to check whether police that are working 24/7 every day, how is the condition of their Maktab, one of the main landmark building for Royal Malaysian Police Force. So this study this dissertation will be conducted mainly at Maktab PDRM Cheras. In this dissertation, there are a few research problems that are highlighted in this study. The first one is the necessity to increase facilities management service performance in order to fulfill occupant satisfaction is in great demand nowadays. So the expectation of the inhabitants are crucial in evaluating the performance of FM services. So this is important. It's a problem nowadays that sometimes quality of the services are not up to par from the view of occupant. Sometimes their services are very not efficient, not friendly, repetitive problem. So this is a problem that we face today, and it is highlighted in this study. So this study tried to check whether it's going to be an issue for Maktab PDRM Cheras. The second problem is high degree of efficacy and efficiency in facility management is always associated with quality facility management. Whatever issue arise as a result of resident dissatisfaction will undermine the building's reputation and potential. FM and quality are one. They cannot be separated. Quality are very important for not just for FM works only, but for other sectors as well. But in this dissertation, we will discuss regarding FM scope. The third research problem will be the worst thing is when the FM department was unable to identify the weakness and variables influencing service improvement. So that is the last research problem. As for research aim, objective, and question, the research aim of my dissertation is definitely to investigate how the quality criteria system of facilities management provided influence occupant satisfaction at Maktab PDRM Cheras. As for my objective, I have three research objectives in this dissertation. The first one is to identify the quality criteria in FM services applied at Maktab PDRM Cheras. The second objective is to evaluate the occupant satisfaction level on the FM services provided in Maktab PDRM Cheras. The third one is to recommend improvement on the level of satisfaction on the FM services. As for research question, I have 3 also, which is related to the research objective. So for first research question, so based on the first research objective to identify the quality criteria, so the question would be, what are the quality criteria system adopted at Maktab PDRM Cheras? Same goes to my second research question, which is based on the second objective, which what are the occupant satisfaction level regarding FM services provided? And the third question, is there any specific strategy or gap by the service provider to enhance the quality of FM services and improve the level of satisfaction among occupants? For scope and limitation, in this dissertation, there are a few scope and limitation. We can't deny about it. So the first one is, this research was carried out based on the case study and data collected from the interview and questionnaire. So it involves 2 type of method in the study, which is qualitative data and quantitative qualitative method and quantitative method, because it involves semi-structured interview for objective 1 and interview and questionnaire survey for objective 2. The questionnaire survey will be used to identify the occupant satisfaction level. For semi-structured interview, it will be used to identify what is the quality criteria system that have been used at Maktab PDRM Cheras, which involves interviewing the developer and contractor personnel that are currently handling the Maktab PDRM Cheras building. The second scope will be the research focuses on the FM activities implemented and its respected qualities at the Maktab PDRM Cheras. The third would be, this study also involves interviews to the staff that are in charge of the facility management in the premise and questionnaire response from police personnel as its building occupants, as I explained before. So these studies are mostly interview and questionnaire survey conducted through online platform due to COVID-19 pandemic, which restrict my traveling abilities to go there as previously researcher tried to do. But still the result are valid, because it just done online through Google Meet, but still valid because the personnel that involves are highly professional and they are working there. So for significance of study, the finding of the study will definitely show our quality level in terms of providing maintenance services in a building, what kind of level, what kind of quality, type of quality that actually that they have currently, their current level, whether it's satisfactory, dissatisfied, or neutral, or highly satisfied. So that kind of quality level that we are trying to investigate. And this study will reveal also how facility management are perceived in Malaysia and what we can do to improve for future development. Because in this dissertation also there will be questions about the performances of the FM service provider, so occupant will have a chance to evaluate their performances and how their performance are perceived in their community, whether it's a good thing or a bad thing. This study also can be used as a benchmark for student and facility manager to investigate any service quality in any buildings or property that they have been tasked to manage in future. So research methodology for this dissertation, there are 4 stages. that I have undergo in order to complete this study. The first one, stage one, literature review. So in the literature review, I try to find what is quality criteria system based on previous author, previous researcher. Okay, number two, overview of integrating quality into FM operation, and a little bit of literature review about my uh, my case study, which is Maktab PDRM Cheras. For stage 2 is research methodology. So the first one is systemic literature review. Data collected using qualitative and quantitative analysis, which I have explained previously. Qualitative is semi-structured interview, and quantitative is questionnaire survey that are distributed towards occupant. So for number 4, data analyzed using descriptive statistics. For stage 3, for results and discussion, the first one, all those data will be collected to be compared in terms of quality criteria system implementation. And number 2, all the findings will be critically viewed and issues will be further highlighted. As for the last stage, stage 4, which is conclusion and recommendation, objective of the research will be answered, and I also will provide further recommendation from this data analysis, and conclusion will suggest what can be improved in the future study. So for finding and analysis for the objective 1, which is to identify the quality criteria in FM services applied at Maktab PDRM Cheras, which is qualitative data, semi-structured interview. I have managed to interview 5 participants in this study, which is can be referred to participant A1, B1, C1, D1 and E1. So A1 is from the developer side, developer personnel, and for B1 is a facility manager, which is from a contractor that are currently always overseeing and handling all FM issues at Maktab PDRM Cheras. And C1, D1 and E1 are also from the contractor side. So as you can see in this slide, all are a very technical and professional professional personnel. They are quite understood about what they are doing, and this is my participant profile in this study. So for the objective 1, previously I explained the participant profile. So during the interview question, interview session, there are a few questions that I asked online. The first one is regarding their understanding of quality criteria, meaning to say, what did they understand about quality criteria? So most of participants have state the answer as shown in the slide. Okay, and there are many elements that are emphasized by all participants, which is quality criteria for them is all about functionality and benchmarking, and they have some efficiency as well. So from their answer, they totally understand what is quality criteria, and they give their answer. And for the next question, what kind of quality criteria initiative that they have done at Maktab PDRM Cheras? So there are 5 quality criteria initiative. This initiative is to increase the level of quality of their FM works, maintenance works. So this is their initiative. The first one is the organization have to provide quality training to employee. This quality training will definitely expose them what is quality all about, and what can be done to ensure quality are maintained and never be neglected. So second is conducting satisfaction survey for every month for each FM service. So the second initiative is about satisfaction survey, which is benchmarking. That is one of the quality criteria initiative. They have to evaluate every month about their occupant satisfaction. The third one, continuous timely manner supervisor monitoring on site. So this is also one of the initiative. uh, Continuous monitoring every time. And number 4 would be organization have set standard for maintenance. Every FM works. It doesn't matter, electrical, mechanical, air conditioning, lift, elevator, landscape, all have all must have set of standards about what do's and don'ts when they're trying to do that to do their job. So that is one of the initiative. And the last one will be quick response time solving complaint. As we know, the faster complaint are solved, the happier the occupants. So this is one of the main quality that are sought after by occupant. They want all their problem solved quickly. So quick response is one of the quality criteria initiative at Maktab PDRM Cheras. So based on the quality criteria initiative that are listed on previous slide, so as you can see on table 4.4, it shows top 3 ranking of quality criteria initiative for their respective services, which is number 1, organization should provide quality training to employee. There are 5 participants that agree with this statement. Organization have set standards for maintenance, come to number 2, but still the frequency are the same. And the last one would be continuous timely manner supervision supervisor monitoring on site. That is number 3. So this is the top 3 ranking of quality criteria initiative for their respected services. As for what can we conclude is the best initiative are organization provide training to employee and organization have set standard for maintenance. As for table 4.5 as shown in this slide, which is top 4 ranking factor and reason why quality criteria initiative are implemented at Maktab PDRM Cheras. The first one is of course payment indicator from developer. All participants agree with that. Key performance index of the worker. If the quality of their work are not satisfied, if they are complained, their KPI would be slightly lower, which will impact their progress in their career. So this is the reason why quality, they take it seriously and try to implement initiative on that. The third one is the reason is to please the occupant, which is for occupant satisfaction. And the last one is to comply with ISO standards. So what can I conclude is the main reason for respondent to implement quality criteria is because the amount of payment by developer depends on quality of work and preventive maintenance plan according to schedule. So payment indicator from developer, let's say in 1 month they have a few complaints that are not solved within stipulated time frame, so it affects the quality and it also affects the payment from developer because the problem cannot be closed. So this is why they have this is the main reason why quality criteria initiative are implemented. It's because the payment by the developer, the more the problem, the lesser the payment will be cut. The payment will be cut based on problems, and this is why they are afraid if they cannot solve any breakdowns within stipulated time. As for table 4.6, what is the driving force of quality criteria practice? What is internal driving force inside their organization? What is the driving force to enforce this quality works? During the interview session, they state that continuous support from top management is the main internal driving force. It's the most important driving force. The second one is the organizational policy, and the last one is to save maintenance costs for a long term. So without strong leadership from top management to enforce quality criteria practice, it will be quite tough. So based on the interview session, they state that their top management are very committed to emphasize this matter, and that's why it come to number one. As for table 4.7, for external driving force of quality criteria practice, there are a few, which is future project acquisition. The second one would be reputation of organization, and the third one would be supplier support. So future project acquisition, most participants believe that by showing quality works at Maktab PDRM Cheras, it will set example towards developer. So it will provide their organization opportunity in acquiring more future projects, gaining connection and trust from clients. So that is the external driving force. It's about their future project acquisition, so that if their performance are good, they will be recommended by developer to take another job, to gain more project. So this is what makes them this is the external driving force. That is what makes them to implement quality criteria practice. So as for finding analysis, still in objective 1, during the interview session, I asked participant, is there any barriers and challenges of quality criteria practice at Maktab PDRM Cheras? So based on table 4.8 shown on the slide, of course there are some barriers, there are some challenges. It's not easy, but most of participants stated that bureaucracy came top. Number one, the reason why it is quite tough to implement quality criteria practice: bureaucracy from management, from head of department, as such. Second is lack of budget. The third one is lack of human resource, and the last one is vandalism on equipment. So lack of budget, there are a few non-fixed budget every month, bureaucracy, when there's an emergency repair work, they don't even have a panel contractor. They try to tender back from beginning, choose the cheapest one. So sometimes for emergency work, it's an emergency work, they should have a panel contractor. So that is why bureaucracy came top, become the most challenging barrier. And lack of human resource also included, which is number 3. Lack of human resource, for example, they stated that some of participants have to hold more than one portfolio. They have to do more work than they are supposed to do. So sometimes quality are being overlooked because of that. So it's a challenges for personnel at Maktab PDRM Cheras. And the last one, vandalism on equipment. So there are some cases at Maktab PDRM Cheras which the occupant itself vandalize on the equipment, vandalize on the lift buttons, for example, vandalizing fire extinguisher, vandalizing toilets. So it affects the quality of the and the performance of the building. So This is barriers and challenges of quality criteria practice at Maktab PDRM Cheras. So for finding an analysis for objective 2, which is to evaluate the occupant satisfaction level on the FM services provided at Maktab PDRM Cheras. So based on the questionnaire survey distributed, 42 responses that I managed to obtain out of 115. Some of them are not replying my emails and not replying my questionnaire due to busy schedule, and they have other jobs to do. So as a result, 42 responses have been obtained, and you can see from the demographic information based on gender, 61.9% are male, 38.1% are female, and then for age, 57.1% are the highest, which is between 27 to 30 years old, and the lowest would be 9.5%, which is in between 19 to 22 years old. So on the questionnaire survey for part A, which is after asking about age and gender, so the third one, I have asked about their working position, and as you can see from table 4.11, the highest would be the occupant work as police staff or police trainee. So it makes sense because Maktab PDRM Cheras, the purpose of Maktab were meant as a place to train future police that will be absorbed into Royal Malaysian Police Force. So this shows that most respondents are working as police officer and trainee compared to other professions that are listed above. So the second and third highest would be admin staff and IT administration staff, and the last one would be teaching staff. Okay, as for educational background, based on result of the questionnaire survey, all are educated, and the highest would be bachelor's degree, that are the highest, and then the lowest educational level would be SPM, but this shows that all occupants are educated. All respondents are educated individual, and their feedback on questionnaires are reliable. And next we will go into department unit at Maktab PDRM Cheras. So as you can see, we have a lot of units there. Okay, so but based on questionnaire survey, most feedback gained from cawangan sistem teknologi maklumat, which is 23.8%, because they have a lot of time to answer my questionnaire survey compared to other unit, which is quite busy, but it is okay. So they concern a lot about FM services at Maktab PDRM Cheras. As for finding and analysis for objective 2, which is to evaluate the level of occupant satisfaction against the maintenance services provided at Maktab PDRM Cheras, there are 5 services that I have choose to evaluate occupant satisfaction level, which is the first one regarding air conditioning system. So there are 5 questions that I've listed in the questionnaire, and by using Likert scale, they will tick from 1 to 5, which mean 1 is very dissatisfied and number 5 is very satisfied. So based on the Likert scale, 5 questions are stated in the questionnaire regarding aircon, which is the first one would be there are no problem with aircon unit when turned on. The second question is room temperature are according to aircon unit temperature setting. Third question, aircon in my department are in good condition and there are no breakdown at least for 6 months. The fourth will be our aircon have no leaking issue. Number 5, aircon filter are replaced every 3 to 4 months. So all these questions are related to quality, and the reason and the purpose is to make sure that these questions are given to them and how they are evaluating whether these questions are true or false, or that, I mean, very dissatisfied or satisfied. So the result from descriptive statistics shows most respondents are satisfied with the air conditioning system because the mean reading of all questions are higher than 3. All questions are higher than 3, their mean reading. So overall, they are satisfied with the air conditioning system. But based on ranking, the first thing that they are very satisfied will be there are no problem with aircon unit when they turn on. So this is the most part that they are satisfied with. And the lowest would be aircon filter are replaced every 3 to 4 months. Sometimes they see a maintenance worker replace the aircon filter. Sometimes they don't see it during a long time, so they are not sure sometimes about it. So that's why it came out number 5. So as for lift and elevator system, it's the same as air conditioning. All question, the mean reading are higher than 3.0. Okay, which is there are 5 questions as well, so they have to mark it on Likert scale, and most of occupant, they state that elevator certification services are displayed at display area, so they are quite satisfied with it. And the lowest would be lift components such as door lift buttons, lift button and emergency button are functional. So sometimes they have a broken lift button, so the quality is quite inefficient there. So that's why it came out as the last question. They are not quite satisfied. Next, we will go into electrical system. Same with air conditioning and lift and elevator. There are 3 questions that they are quite satisfied. The mean reading are more than 3.0, but there are 2 questions that are below 3.0, which means they are not quite satisfied with that, which is question number 4. All light switches, fan or any electrical equipment in my department have no breakdown at least for 6 months in my department. So they are quite disagree with that, because there are problems almost once a week. They never experience a situation where there are no issues for 6 months. So that's why they quite disagree with the statement. And question number 5, circuit breaker are tripping due to lightning storm. So during lightning storm or heavy rain downpour, circuit breaker are not tripping. So this is quite, they are quite disagree with that, because sometimes when heavy rain occur, the electric will be tripped for a few seconds. So that's why they are quite disagree with that. And but they agree, the thing that they agree with electrical system, that which is question number 1, it has the highest mean reading, 3.76. The question states all wiring are secure and protected from human tampering, and this is true. They agree with that, because what can they observe from the building? All wiring are protected. There are no exposed wiring that are hazardous towards occupant. They agree with that. So for housekeeping section, same, 5 questions are given to them. All question, the mean reading are quite excellent, which is the highest is question number 1, 3.93. The question state that public places such as lobby, office, corridors are clean and swept in timely manner. So basically they agree with that. All corridors, lanes, walkways, even in their office, all are swept in timely manner. They agree with that. So this shows that the housekeeping services provided are satisfactory. Next, we will go into landscape section, landscape works. So same 5 question as well. The question are pedestrians are always clean and free from debris. Number 2, grass, plants, green area around Maktab PDRM Cheras are properly maintained or trimmed. The third question, there are no weeds, tree branch, garbage that blocking perimeter drain around Maktab PDRM Cheras. The fourth question, plants are watered and dead plants are replaced. And number 5, garbage are collected from trash in timely manner. So this is the type of question that are evaluated based on occupant satisfaction, and the one that came on top they are totally satisfied with would be question number 1. Pedestrian area are always clean and free from debris, 3.79. That was the highest mean reading compared to other statement. As for section C, section C, I managed to investigate to try to analyze contractor performances at Maktab PDRM Cheras. Okay, so there are 5 questions as well, which is basic question to determine their performances. The question involves asking whether the maintenance staff are friendly or very helpful when needed. That's the first question that I've asked. The second would be, the maintenance staff are very cooperative and professional. The third one would be, did they punctual during meeting or appointment? And the question number 4, during maintenance problem, did they explain towards occupant what is the issue regarding any maintenance during services? Did they educate the occupants or just come repair and just go? And number 5, are they implement quality in their works? So that is 5 questions that I've asked, and for the most part, generally, occupants are satisfied with their performance. Statements in questionnaire are agreed by occupants, since 4 out of 5 questions they have achieved mean reading above 4.0, which is impressive, and this shows that occupants are very satisfied with the performance of the contractor at Maktab PDRM Cheras. So as for the conclusion of the dissertation, so based on objective 1, which is to understand and determine the first research objective in the study, semi-structured interview has been conducted towards 5 respondents who have a professional background in facility management services at Maktab PDRM Cheras. And what can I conclude from objective 1 is there are a few quality criteria initiative that have been done by contractor and developer, and there are reason for those implementation. So what can I conclude? I also obtain what is the internal driver, external driver, and what is their barriers and challenges implementing quality criteria system. All have been discussed and explained, and the results are shown in analysis part. For second objective, what can I conclude is when evaluating the occupant satisfaction, mostly they are happy with the performance of the contractor, and based on FM services evaluation, air conditioning, lift and elevator, electrical, landscape, housekeeping, most questions that are given to them, they reply it, and their answer are quite satisfactory based on the Likert scale, and the result was analyzed by SPSS software. And then Based on result obtained, all FM services and contractor performance are in favourable and satisfied condition. As for the third objective, which is the last objective, so the third research objective in this study is to propose improvement on the level of satisfaction on the FM services provided in Maktab PDRM Cheras. So considering data obtained during analysis, a few strategies will be proposed in the next slide. So we will discuss about objective 3 in the next slide. So for recommendation to answer the my third research objective, there are two strategies that I have come out based on interview and questionnaire survey. Interview session with all those participants, they highlighted two main strategy, which is the first one is human resource strategy and the second one is physical strategy. For human resource strategy, they recommend that in future, in order to provide more quality in FM services, it is recommendable to establish human behavior team specialized to liaise with occupant regarding any issues of maintenance. So they need to assemble a team to explain the main issue with occupant when there are maintenance issue. There should be a team specialized in human behavior to meet the complainants and explain to them what is the main reason for failure, what are the time frame for repairing work, and ensure that issues will be repaired accordingly. And of course, by using this strategy, most occupant level of satisfaction will be enhanced if they have proper and enough information how to solve their problem. The second recommendation is to minimize bureaucracy. Bureaucracy are cancer in an organization. One of the main challenges in implementing swift and clean quality criteria in FM services are due to bureaucracy, from contractor or service provider top management. During emergency or corrective maintenance repair work, top management should eliminate the process of selecting their vendors or subcontractors to expedite the works. The correct strategy should be awarding panel contractor for Maktab PDRM Cheras. By having panel contractor ready and in standby mode, emergency work can be solved immediately, and by having panel vendors, spare part also can be delivered faster to solve maintenance issues such as aircon, electrical, lift, elevator, equipment faulty. So this strategy will definitely increase occupant satisfaction towards FM services. So need to minimize bureaucracy and who knows, maybe eliminate bureaucracy altogether in future. So the third one will be appropriate allocation resources. Resources for maintenance equipment also can be improved by having a fixed budget every year for specific project, not case by case basis, but a very fixed fixed budget. Having a strong budget and allocation resources will definitely improve deliverables of spare parts on site and speed up repairing time, which will increase occupant satisfaction and quality of works. So as for physical strategy, so there are two, which is aircon system upgrade and electrical system upgrade. For aircon, for split unit, they recommend that split unit it can be replaced with new unit which are more energy efficient, that can save electricity bill for long term period. So far, aircon unit at Maktab PDRM Cheras are not energy friendly equipment. They consume a lot of energy. There are no electricity saving, so they propose that. And then they also recommend that underground chill water pipe between chiller and air handling unit are rusty and in bad condition, because it was an original piping condition of the building from 30 years ago. So they recommend new plumbing system need to be constructed or upgraded to avoid future major breakdown. As for electrical system upgrade, as usual, they recommend implementing like retrofit program So because currently most of the lighting at Maktab PDRM Cheras are using conventional fluorescent light which are outdated, so they propose converting to LED lights so that it can improve occupants satisfaction based on in terms of electricity saving and long term life usage. And also with these strategies, chances of improving occupant satisfaction will increase dramatically. Okay, thank you for listening, and so this is my dissertation presentation as of today. Thank you very much for listening for almost 1 hour. Sorry because the requirement is 15 minutes to 20 minutes, but it's quite impossible because there are a lot of things. Thank you, and have a nice day.